An evening of celebration was held at the Notre Dame Center in Jerusalem to commemorate the decree Nostra Aetate. The Institute of the Incarnate Word celebrates the 10th anniversary of the Hogar Niño Dios, a home for handicapped and abandoned children in Bethlehem. Revealing the reality of Bethlehem today, the presentation of the documentary We Are All Born Here, the protagonists in the history of Bethlehem, their beauty and strength. In Bethlehem, the roofs and the aisle of the Basilica of the Nativity are being restored, and at the same time, the magnificent mosaics. In Jifna, the presence of Catholic Christians and Orthodox has persisted throughout the centuries. In the final report of the Synod in Rome, the bishops emphasized the importance of the effective presence of parents in the education of their children. An evening of celebration was held at the Notre Dame Center in Jerusalem to mark 50 years since the end of the Second Vatican Council in 1965. This event highlighted the decree Nostra Aetate, a document that is still relevant, especially for those who live in the Holy City and for those whose work is directly related to the three monotheistic religions. The celebration took the form of an expo or showcase of local talent from among the many and diverse communities that live in the Holy Land. It was a celebration that witnessed to the determination of those who open their hearts and minds and use their talents to promote friendship and develop human relationships through faith, culture and tradition. Jews, Christians and Muslims, young people and adults, all brought together by the spirit of the decree, which draws attention to the unity of all peoples. In our time, when day by day mankind is being drawn closer together and the ties between different peoples are becoming stronger, the Church examines more closely her relationship to non-Christian religions. In her task of promoting unity and love among men, indeed among nations, she considers above all in this declaration what men have in common and what draws them to fellowship. One is the community of all peoples, one their origin, for God made the whole human race to live over the face of the earth. Ten years have passed since the creation of the Hogar Niño Dios here in Bethlehem. The missionaries of the Incarnate Word began their work from nothing, and now this beautiful home next to the Basilica of the Nativity can accommodate 50 people and seems like a dream.
Accogliamo bambini handicappati.
We welcome children who are handicapped, poor, abandoned or orphaned, and children who have a serious moral or physical need. Right now we are caring for 25 children. The last one, the 25th, arrived recently as a surprise.
E appunto l'arrivo in questi giorni del numero 25.
Traveling from Argentina to be of service to these children in need was a good leap.
At the time, I would have never imagined being able to build this work of charity since we don't even know the language. It was very difficult. Everything about this culture was totally new to us, and now we are here. We are very happy to be here today and to be able to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Hogar Niño Dios.
We are preparing for the Thanksgiving Eucharist, which will be presided over by Patriarch Fouad Toual. There are children in wheelchairs and others in perpetual motion. We see the bustle of the volunteers, who are instantly recognizable by the many ways they show their love.
La mia storia in questa casa è iniziata con un pellegrinaggio.
My story in this home began with a pilgrimage to the Holy Land that took us to the Grotto of the Nativity. I remember when Father Mario told us, "I will take you to a place now where you will see baby Jesus in the flesh." We came here to Hogar Niño Dios, and the love and joy of these children have truly conquered my heart. From there on, I kept coming back to help the children and to visit the nuns when my work allows me. This is like a family to me now.
Qui a trovare i bambini, aiutare le suore, per me è come una famiglia oramai, insomma, ecco.
We thank God and we thank the many benefactors who have helped during these 10 years, giving aid and cooperation. The home started with only a room in 2005. Today it's a beautiful home that can accommodate many children. This miracle happened thanks to Providence, working through many friends, especially Italian friends, also our friends from Unitalsi, our Friends of Mercy, and many other associations, even individuals who helped to build this dream. This is a church too, a church that pleases and persuades hearts. This is the church that everyone loves. The Holy Father and all Christians love it. The Muslims love it. Everyone loves it. This is a church that loves and serves. An old African proverb says, "Every elderly person who dies is a library that burns." And it is on this note that a documentary was created, "We Are All Born Here," the old protagonists in the history of Bethlehem, their beauty and strength. The Christian Media Centre and Association Pro Terra work together to show the reality of Bethlehem today.
The idea of the documentary is to give a real shot of Bethlehem today. The idea of the film is not to project a reality that we like or we not like. The idea of the movie is to give a real picture of the society, how the people think, what the people are afraid about, and what the future should be.
For this reason, on Saturday, November the 7th, the documentary was shown to the local community, who had gathered for the occasion in the Hall of Catholic Action in Bethlehem, in the presence of the mayor of the city, Vera Baboon. It is a documentary that, through the eyes of its people, retraces the milestones that led the Christian community to a slow and gradual migration.
Today we have a beautiful society with the old story, with people that they have kibrak bire, they have a lot of things today to say. They are a family who remain here because the 80% of the family is immigrated, and we want the people to rest here. But in order for the people to stay here, we have to say the truth, not the false. To say the truth, that's what we are. We are a minority, we are a strong minority.
The historical images of Bethlehem resurface and come alive in the memories of those who took part in this documentary, one way of preserving the memory of these living stones.
فيلم كان كتير الوثائق كتير مهم، أعطى صورة حية للبلد 100%. عشان نعرف الماضي لازم نحكي مع الأشخاص.
The documentary is very important because it presents a vivid image of the city. In order to know the past, we have to talk to people who were alive before us, talk to the generations that have lived through the wars and problems, talk to those who have helped to preserve Bethlehem. We are grateful to them. The presence of a good number of members of the community is very important today because it shows that people are aware of the importance of continuing to stay and live here, especially here where Christ was born. Christians must continue to live where he was born. A short film with a strong cultural and historical heritage and with a well-defined purpose.
رسالة.
It is an important message for everyone. The message is to maintain the presence of the people here and discourage them from emigrating. I know that the situation here is very difficult. We face the wall issue, the economic and political situation, as well as work problems. Everything is difficult, but altogether we will be able to deal with these issues as long as we remain here. In Bethlehem, the restoration of the Church of the Nativity continues. The repairs started on the roof. Now they're repairing the aisle of the Basilica, considered one of the oldest and most important Byzantine artworks in the world. It's a restoration that speaks Italian, for the work has been entrusted to the expert hands of an Italian firm, Piacenti SPA of Prato. The mosaics are being completely renewed. And while in the past mosaics used to cover the upper part of the Basilica, today only a few of them remain.
Perché sono arrivati, quei pochi frammenti sono arrivati veramente integri, quindi conservano tutta una...
The few fragments that remain are still intact. They maintain a structural particularity that we cannot find in other similar fragments, because they underwent ample restoration work and have therefore been compromised. We can see workshops of very high quality color-wise, very special glass and even gold. There are 4 to 5 different types of golden tiles, subtle shades in both the protection folder that ranges from the color red to warmer or cooler colors, and in the preparation of the folder in stained glass. With these effects, they were able to produce different refractions of light in order to bring out a body or a saint, etc. The inclination of the tiles was decisive for this particular type of mosaic work.
Delle tessere era determinante in questo particolare tipo di opera musica.
Work from all the different periods show the continuing need for restoration in this basilica, from Helen to Justinian, the Crusaders, the Franciscans and the Greeks.
Questo è il periodo crociato, quindi 1100.
This is from the Crusader period, the second part of the 1100s, around 1160 to 70, a fairly definite period, and these fully reflect those times.
Questi insomma rispecchiano appieno il periodo.
The techniques, the type of tiles used and the workmanship can certainly confirm that the historical dating of these mosaics is the Crusader period, that this is the first century of the year 1000.
Cioè del primo secolo dell'anno 1000.
A wonderful work that takes us back in time. It feels like being with the first mosaic installers who put the mosaic on the walls for the first time.
Stiamo facendo delle iniezioni con della resina per cercare di consolidare appunto il mosaico.
We are applying resin injections to try to reinforce the mosaic precisely because they chose detachments in some areas. We first injected mortar to fill these voids, especially where these voids are really small. The mortar cannot penetrate. We do these infiltrations dropping the resin through the gravity. The resin then penetrates slowly in these spaces and reinforces the mosaic.
Facendo cadere attraverso la gravità la resina che lentamente penetra in questi spazi e va a consolidare il mosaico.
Despite having been chosen by God as witnesses of Jesus' coming, Christians are a minority in the Holy Land. However, there is a significant percentage of Christians in some locations, such as in the village of Jifna. Located about 20 kilometers north of Jerusalem, Jifna has had a continuous presence of Christians since the first centuries after Christ and has many stories to tell. The population of the village stands at about 2,000 inhabitants, half of whom are Christian, both Catholics and Orthodox. You can still find the ruins of the ancient Byzantine church of St. George. The local Orthodox church was built in the mid-19th century and is one of the oldest in the village. Devotion to St. George attracts the faithful of the entire region. The locals, inhabitants of Ramallah and nearby cities, consider St. George a saint of miracles. The sick ask the intercession of St. George, and God helps them. The Catholic Church dedicated to St. Joseph is also one of the oldest of the region. The parish, which already housed the relic of the Arab saint Mary Alphonsine, recently also received the relics of 4 Lebanese saints. sacred objects have helped feed the spirituality of the local Catholics.
كانوا الناس كتير يجوا يصلوا كان في حسينا إنه قديش الناس عطشانين.
Many people used to come here to pray, but we had the feeling that they were thirsty, that they needed something spiritual. They asked for healing through the relics. Some of them thank God for the miracles received by God through the intercession of these saints.
الخير كمان كانوا في ناس كان مارشار بيتعامل معهم عجيب يعني.
The small town of Jifna, inhabited by Christians since the first centuries, is struggling because of emigration, made more intense by the various occupations it has suffered. Young people leave the native land and go abroad to study or look for work. But there is a small miracle that can be witnessed here in Jifna that even Christians may not be aware of. The miracle is the faithfulness of those who do not renounce their faith, even in the midst of hardships. The family was the focus of discussions in the Catholic Church in the month of October. Bishops from various countries gathered in Rome and dealt with the challenges of families. The mission of the family in the Church and in society was the main topic of the Synod. As pointed out in the final report of the Synod, the education of children, confronted by the cultural reality and the powerful influence of the media, was a salient theme and a complex and challenging topic. Samer and May know exactly what this means. The couple has 2 children, Veronica, age 6, and Leah, age 2.
بيأثر علينا الإعلام، بيأثر كمان على أولادنا الإعلام بشكل عام.
Certainly the media has the strength to influence our children. Our job is to guide them so that they will make good choices on what to watch and what to follow. It's not easy because many choices can harm children even inside their own homes. But the most important thing is to show them the right direction.
أو خارج الدار، ولكن التوجيه هو أهم إشي بالنسبة للأولاد.
According to the report, parents have the right to educate their children according to their beliefs, helping them to understand their emotions and accept others. As Christians living in the Holy Land, the challenge of educating their children in the Christian faith and in coexistence is even greater.
الأولاد بتسألوا شو دور اليهودي في البلد؟ ليش دور المسلم بالبلد؟
Children ask, what are the Jews and Muslims doing? What is happening in those conflicts out there? They ask about the situation we are facing, and we try to show them the path of love, that we should love our enemies and pray for those who persecute us.
بنحاول نوجههم، ولكن بنفس الوقت ما بنقدر كمان نستغني عن قوميتنا.
The bishop's document emphasized the need for an effective presence of adult family members in the development of children, indicating that these adults should not delegate this task to a third party. In this way, family members are seen as the first to catechize their children. It is crucial for May and Samer, who are guiding their daughters through the midst of religious diversity. In little Veronica's classroom, she is the only Christian.
She told me, Mom, my friend told me that Jesus doesn't exist. So why are we Christians? I'm the only Christian in the class. Why, Mom? And I explained who Jesus is for us and that everyone has their own religion.
Acknowledging the fragility of the family in the current environment, the pastors of the church indicate that the strength of the family lies in its capacity to love and teach love. Having been brought up in a loving environment, we have the opportunity to share it with our children. We try to give them, in the best way possible, this love, which is the reflection of the supreme love that Jesus gives us. As the document points out, through their testimony of faithful love, tenderness and respect, parents have the opportunity to create harmonious family relationships. In this case, the voice that directs the lives of the children will be like music in their ears.
Terra News is a production of the Christian Media Center in Jerusalem, Holy Land. For more information about Terra Santa News and the Christian Media Center, please check out our website at the bottom of the screen. You'll also be able to subscribe to our newsletter, to view live video feeds from the Holy Land, as well as visit our Facebook and YouTube pages and follow our Twitter feed. Come visit the website of Terra Santa News.